Part 2, Episode 187.
I'm Sheila, also known as Sheila D37. Had to think about that.
And I'm Wendy, also known as Penny Wendy. Welcome back.
Why do I always... Thank you. Why do I always forget my name? It's the 37 that throws me off.
It's because you're not 37 anymore, my friend.
Yeah, well, the 37 is based not on
my
age, obviously. I haven't been 37 in a long time.
That would help you remember it.
So this new coworker, side note, that I work with, she started a few weeks ago, really good. I asked her today how old she was. I'm like, if you don't mind me asking. She told me her age. She's 10 years older than me. I'm like, I would not have guessed that. I thought she was my age. She's like, well, thank you. I'm like, you deserve it. I would not have guessed that. Not in a million years would I have guessed that. So, anyways.
We're already sidetracking and we're only 1 minute into the episode.
Well, we always sidetrack. Why change now?
So, if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you're new, welcome to the show.
Run away.
Why do you say that every week? It's like you don't want people to watch this.
I don't know. I just always feel...
Run away.
Because we're crazy. But I think that's what lures them in.
You're
watching
crazy.
The crazies. I'm not
crazy.
It's one of those you can't stop but watch Trainwreck.
Trainwreck. I want to look away, but I can't. All right.
So, we are not doing a December knit-along.
No, we aren't. It is December now. Instead, I came up with a crazy plan.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was a little pissed that you didn't include me before.
Well, I meant to talk to you about it. But we had talked about this. Do you not remember this? 2 weeks ago we talked about this.
I barely remember what happened.
Well, we're going to give away... the upshot of it is we're going to give away a lot of stuff in December. And this week we're giving away 2 patterns.
Right, but we're also giving away November's
Well,
knit-along.
we're drawing a winner for a November knit-along, but we are going to set up a contest for 2 patterns. Okay. And next week, there are going to be 6 winners. 1 winner for the ornament pattern, and 5 people are going to each win one of the mitt designs. There are 5 mitt designs, and you're going to get each 1 copy.
Cool.
So, each 1 mitt pattern out of the PDF. It's hard to say that. So, 6 people are going to win next week. We have a winner this week. And the week after that, I think I'm going to come up with a surprise. So, I'll talk to you about it afterwards. Right. But this is the month that we're going to try to... Every week somebody wins something. We're giving stuff away because it's the holiday season.
Is one of these prizes hopefully going to include just our members and not anything?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. Okay. So,
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. There will be winners next week and more information coming up, so you'll get it. So that's it. All we have for shout-outs, and you are...
first.
Yes, because I was alone with Lily last week.
Okay, so I technically have... Well, technically I have many things on the needles, but... I have 2 things on the needles. So... I am doing a worsted weight sock out of Patton's classic wool. Worsted. It's, I believe, 100% wool. And it's,
Hold on 1 second. Jack?
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Turn it off.
Okay, turn the volume down.
Thank you.
So it's out of Patton's wool. Classic worsted. AC Moore Michaels, I don't know, probably with the 50% coupon. I think I used this wool for my dad's slippers last year. Not sure. So it's just a gray.
I think you did.
Dark gray mix, it's called. So I'm doing the Rye Sock because I liked it the first time. I love wearing mine. It's so easy. It's a free pattern by Tin Can Knits.
Tin Can Knits. Somebody in my Instagram feed is knitting one out of red and gray. Like this part's red and this part's gray.
I probably have seen it.
Super pretty.
I love red and gray together for some reason.
Me too.
I didn't have any red yarn.
Blue and gray I like too.
Yeah. So I just used the blue and the gray that I had from the leftovers. It's so easily adaptable.
Yeah.
You just basically picking a not random number, but any number in between for the garter portion of it and just matching the ends. It's so easy. So I'll probably do a fish lips kiss heel on this one. I am actually knitting this for a friend of mine.
Cool.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm tired today.
Is that
every
it?
day. No.
You were just stopping, like
just
just like
stopping.
you ran out of gas.
I did. I have run out of gas. I am like at my limit. So I'll explain this further in Bobbles and Blings, but this is Cascade Fixation. Just Cascade Fixation, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's cotton and elastic sock yarn. They advertise it as.
Super stretchy. Well,
yeah, it's elastic.
It's elastic. It's stretchy, and it's really soft.
It's super soft. So right now I just cast on 72 or 80 stitches. I don't remember which. And size 5 needles. Actually, I think I cast it on size 6 and said, yeah, that's too big. Right now it's just going to be a generic baby hat.
Cool.
I might play with colors. I don't know. I was excited to get it and I wanted to cast it on, and I already see a knot in this thing. Are you kidding? But it's super, super soft. There was just a delay, by the way.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, well.
Sorry.
Nothing I can do about that.
It's super soft, and I think it would make a great baby hat.
Cool.
For those new little borns. So I don't know. We'll see if I continue doing this or not. We'll see.
All right.
But those are the only things that are somewhat active on the needles.
Oh, I should, instead of knitting, I should have been writing that down. Rye Sock.
By Tin Can Knits in patents.
Mm-hmm.
And then a generic
hat.
Baby hat.
In Cascade
Fixation.
Got it. All right. I have...
Sorry, that was my phone.
Whoa.
I'm hoping to go out to dinner with my dad.
I have 2 things on the needles. The first thing that I'm working on is my Oxford Hooded Cowl, and I'm almost done.
Now I was thinking about this. I've been thinking about... Sorry, I didn't mean to grab you there. Making a hat with this as the ribbing, would that be...
I think it would be super squishy and warm.
That's what I was thinking. Because I was looking at the Bankhead hat, and the Bankhead hat, I believe, is free as well. Yeah, it's free because I didn't pay for it. Yeah. And it's knit through the back loop and purl. And it looks really nice, but it's a longer brim.
Right, but
and
this
I'm wondering
is
if that
below. Yeah.
I know, but I'm wondering if that would be nice and squishy and warm.
Oh, I think it would be.
I mean, granted, you're using larger
this is
needles,
DK,
right?
and I'm using. I don't know. Let me look at the needles. I'm using my
7s or 8s.
7s. I'm using 7s.
So DK typically calls for what, 5s?
Yeah.
Give or take.
Yeah. But this is
so
going
if
to
you did it on worsted weight in a size 8, it would be really squishy and warm.
This is going to be
love the colors.
Yeah, I like it too. This will be doubled. It's huge when it's not on the needles. You can't tell how long it is. You can actually kind of see how long it is.
Yeah, you can kind of see because you're already...
So it can squish around, but it's going to be like super thick. And I wanted it long enough so that this part would cover that hole in the back that you get.
Yeah.
So I used the maximum amount that I could. So this is the Oxford Knitted Cowl. It's done by knitting into the stitch below. And since I did it in the round, on the second row, I have to purl into the stitch below to the purl sections in order to get it to look like this. The original pattern was knit to be done flat and then seamed together, but that seemed unnecessary to me, so I didn't do it that way.
You always seem to get patterns like that.
I don't know. I just think I have a certain way I like to do things that I guess not everybody does it that way. I don't know why.
No,
I think my way obviously is the best way, but not everyone in the world seems to agree with my little kingdom of knitting. So I always have to change everything. But this is the Lakes Fiber, Lakes Yarn and Fiber. I won this at Rhinebeck, and I know that's just going to make Lois and Denise mad. Won this at Rhinebeck!
On my worst day.
Yes, on your worst. See, I said, the fact of life is that when something bad happens to Sheila, something good happens to me, and vice versa.
No, not always on that one.
Oh, I think so. Whenever one of us is up, the other one's down.
We're a nice
We're never
seesaw.
just in the middle. So this was all beautiful free yarn. It's the Hayden DK weight. And
So how much of the blue and the whatever you have left?
I used up as much as I could. Without
any more of that, you wouldn't.
I don't know if I would have made it around.
Right.
So I stopped. And this one I'm going to knit until it's about to here. You know, in terms of the length of this part. And then I'll do I think it ends with a garter, not a... This is only for the hood, for the front part. I think it ends in a garter on this end. But I think it's coming out gorgeous.
It is absolutely gorgeous.
And it's so squishy. I would like to have a whole blanket like this. It's like airy, but it's like warm somehow. I don't know.
It is squishy.
It is. I love this stitch. I never heard of it before.
Well, that's why touching it, and then I'm like, this would be so nice. And like, I'm thinking, you know, a hat brim, but even a sock cuff.
I know.
That would be nice on a sock
the thing that's great about it, too, is because it's, like, lofty, it, like, traps the heat in there. It's not, you know what, I just think it would be really warm. So I'm super excited about this. This probably will be done next week. The second thing that I have actively on the needles is my sock. I showed you last week. I finished one. Ooh. There we go. Much better. This is the Spring Cable sock on Play at Life, Saki Maki, and the Loud and Proud colorway. I had almost an entire sock knit out of this. If I had just knit this, I would have a pair of socks now. But I ripped out the other one because I wanted it to be matching.
Oh, all right.
So this is the one that I ripped out. I ripped the whole sock out. I never felt better in my life. It was a good decision.
Sometimes, yeah.
And I have this much done on the toe.
So then it goes back to purple?
Yeah, I'm doing it the opposite direction. This goes from purple to pink. And this is longer than the foot. I don't usually knit legs longer than the foot of my sock. Sometimes I even knit them shorter. So I only knit until I got enough into the orange to do the ribbing. So because there's no beautiful pink, I'm doing this one in reverse. So this one will go pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, and there will be no purple on it. So it'll just be the opposite. And I had to rip it out the first time I knit it because I realized that I had not mirrored the cable.
I was talking about that yesterday.
I was like going along and I was just doing it like the other sock and I got like 5 rows into the cable and I was like, crap. So I had to rip it all back down to the beginning of the cable. So
I find that funny that you had to rip.
I had to.
I know you did. I know you did. But I was talking about that to a coworker the other day about it. And I'll explain that.
Like, it doesn't bother me that the socks will look completely different because they're going in the opposite, but the cable being on the wrong side would drive me nuts. That's my weirdness. It's funny how little things like that, I know some people hate it when their socks don't look the same, so that would drive some people crazy. Me, I don't really care, but if they do not match or mirror, if they're not symmetrical in some way, I can't wear them. So that's all I have on the
Okay,
table.
so I have a finished object, and it's my spring cabled socks that I finished. And I am laughing because I did the exact same thing Wendy did when I did my second sock. In the sense that, all right, so this is, I believe, my first one. I did mine cuff down. The
pattern is written for cuff down.
It's so easily.
I just took the stitches out on mine and did a toe up.
Yeah, it's so easy to do. I did a gusset. I did a heel flap and a gusset with Eye Partridge heel. This is the first one I think I showed you guys that I screwed up with the heel. I just couldn't get it situated. So that's the first one. This is done in Wollmeise Spring Cable colorway. So I started the second one and 2 cables into it.
Oh my God, way farther than me.
I realized, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to change the other way around.
Yeah.
Now, I had it positioned in the right way because one is for the right foot, one's for the left foot.
I'm glad you said that because I haven't cabled yet and I would have cabled in the wrong direction. Thank you. I gotta remember that.
Cabled in the wrong direction or put it on the wrong side?
The first time I cabled and put it in the wrong direction. I did it exactly like the first sock. I've started doing it on this side, but I haven't cabled yet. But if you hadn't said that, I would have cabled it in the wrong direction. Then I would have been like, dang! I got to remember that. Thank you.
So this one is the right sock. This one is the left. So basically you have a cable. It's probably better this way. Cable going up this side, which you can't see. And on the left sock, you have it going up this side.
Yeah, it's on the opposite side.
So I realized, can you see it?
Oh.
So if you look,
You got one little cable.
I got 2 cables that are going in the direction as the other sock, and then I
you
realized what I
realized.
did, and I'm like, screw this, and I'm like, do I? I'm like, screw it.
I would have had to rip it back.
No, I didn't. So then I switch over and have the cables going in the correct direction. Really, you can't notice it unless you actually look for it.
No, you can't.
And nobody's ever going to see it because, honestly, that's going to be underneath my cuff.
Here's mine. My cables are smaller than Sheila's because I stopped counting after the first 3.
And I made sure I had a safety pin.
Yeah, I didn't feel like putting a safety.
I
If a safety pin had been lying right next to me when I started cabling the sock, I would have done that.
No, I had to. I'm
But
not good
since
at.
I
I'm
had to
not
get
good
off
at
the
reading my
couch.
cable stitches yet.
I just estimate, and if you look very closely, you will see that there are a number of cables that are much shorter, like that one. That one's a little bit longer.
Yeah, no, it's every 7 stitch, and I was adamant about doing it.
Doesn't bother me.
See, that bothers me. But most of the reason as why I do it is because when I do my second sock, I count how many cables I've done with the note about what row to stop it at.
Oh.
And then how many cables to the foot
I just eyeball it.
Before I start decreasing it.
And I do have a couple of socks that are like a quarter of an inch shorter. One's shorter than the other because I don't measure. I just eyeball it.
That.
It doesn't bother me.
Now these socks, again, are Wollmeise. It's I believe it was the 80-20.
Yeah, 80-20.
These will probably never be worn at work. Maybe once, because the yarn is a little bit more delicate. I don't want to rip through these as quickly as I could on them. But it's a 72 stitch cable.
Did you use 72
I
stitches?
did.
Because I did, and mine is a little bit big on my
Mine
foot.
is huge. It really is big. And I think that's probably one other reason with the first one I did it out of Wollmeise 100% and the Terra di Siena. And it was looser, and I think it had more wear and tear.
Well, see, I did, because Sheila told me, because when Sheila did this, I was like, that would be the perfect thing to use on these, because these are not really stripy enough to be self-striping.
No.
So I wanted something just to make it interesting while I got through this. And she told me it was a 72 stitch sock because this draws in, and it does draw in. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I mean you can see right here. It does. It's.
But I think I probably could have done like a
68 or something.
Something in between.
Yeah. Or
I mean they still fit fine.
I think your yarn is probably a little thicker than mine too because What size needle did you use?
2.25.
Oh, that's right. I used 1.5, and look at the difference in stitch.
I know.
But
actually, the stitches look pretty. Well, it's still tighter, but not much.
No, you're right.
What's the gauge on yours? All right. So 1,
Holy
2,
shiitake.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stitches per the inch.
Okay.
I'm just curious.
I had an itch. Oh, geez. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, like 9. 1 stitch more.
Not that different.
So you used a 2, I used a 1.5.
I used a 2.5.
Okay, I used a 1.5. And I honestly, it's not that bad. I usually knit bulletproof socks.
No, I mean, I like mine to have this kind of a...
It's funny, though, because everyone at work is like, oh my gosh, they're gorgeous, they're this must be so difficult. I'm like, not really.
No, not these.
Once you know how to knit and purl, you can do anything. So,
except the fish lips kiss.
Yeah, well.
Sorry. Inside joke.
So,
The person out there, you know who you are.
A person at my work who knit, she was like, oh, you do really nice, neat work and clean and everything like that. And I'm thinking to myself, well, what do you do? Do you not do clean work? But I didn't say anything. So she put the socks down and I went like this and I just rolled them. She goes, oh, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to stretch it out. I'm like, they're socks. Ultimately, the end of the day, they're socks. If I didn't want to, torture them, I wouldn't have made them. But this is my finished object. I love them. I'm going to have to hide them from my kids because they'll steal them.
Yeah.
They will.
They will.
That's all my finished projects, I think. Yeah.
I have one finished project.
I'm a monogamous knitter nowadays.
Not me. I like to have my sock to take places with me.
Right.
And because this thing, honestly, is too big to take places anymore. It's really...
I just don't have time anymore, so...
Sorry. My hairdresser canceled my appointment today. And she's just confirming with me that I'm going to see her tomorrow at the same time.
Okay.
So... anyway, one of the patterns that we're giving away is called Scrappy Christmas Bobbles by my friend Rachel Klusner, who's also known as Diabolical. And she came up with the cutest pattern to make a Christmas bauble. And I have to tell you a funny story about this pattern. I helped her by tech editing, and she asked me for a good name for it. But we didn't know that these were also called baubles, so the only names that we could come up with had the word balls in it. It was hard to come up with a name that didn't sound really bad.
Especially when we talk about them.
Yeah, so it was like a 20-minute conversation between two 12-year-olds. But we got it all straightened out, and these are now called Scrappy Christmas Bobbles. And for fun, I made knit one heart too. It says it on both sides. And I'm going to talk more about this pattern in the Gossip and Innuendo because this is one of the patterns that we're giving away. But I got a 2-pack of the foam balls, so I might make a different one.
I have a bunch of them. There's another pattern out there that uses the smaller ones.
Yeah. This pattern uses 3 different sizes. I did the biggest size. It has instructions.
How long roughly did it take you to make? Just out of curiosity.
Well, let me just tell you about that. First of all, let me show you what I made it out of.
I was just going to say, because I don't recognize those colors.
No, I ran to Joann's.
Oh, come on. You couldn't find scraps?
All of my scraps, this is what Diane said to me. Diane and I spent hours this summer taking all of my yarn scraps and winding them into the appropriate length to do zoom loom. So I no longer have, and I gave her half of my yarn because I had like 5 pounds of yarn.
I know you did.
So I gave her half of it. So I didn't want to break into that because that's all ready to go. When I want to zoom loom, I just pull out one and I put it in. So I went over to Joann. Of course, Joann's having a massive post-Thanksgiving sale. So I don't remember if I put the tags in here.
I did. That's nice yarn.
It's some kind of a wool blend sock yarn in forest green from Joann Fabric that It's
Joann Fabrics.
Maybe. I don't know. It could be Debbie, whatever her name is.
Normal?
It could be her. I don't know. It had a lady on it. I don't know what I did with the labels, but I bought this forest green, and then all they had was this red self-striping.
Big stripes, though.
It's really wide stripes. You can see they're about this wide because this was about 72 stitches, I think, around the middle, give or take. So it's like if you knit a sock, it would have sock. But, I liked the colors together.
Yeah, no, I like that.
And then I do have a skein of this somewhere, but I couldn't put my hands on it. So I bought this is the same brand as the green, whatever that was, and it's just white. Ooh. Boy, it looks glowing. It's woo. So these are the 3 colors that I bought, and I'm just gonna put them in my my Christmas scrap yarn bag because I tend to make at least one ornament every year.
I think that would be kind of nice to make an ornament every year, and
Well, I thought
did you put
fun.
the year on it?
No. That one hurt too. I thought that was fun. So let me tell you about this. It's really simple to do. The pattern has options. I picked the largest one because I picked the largest one because at Joann they were pretty like weeded down. My cat is playing with something that rolls. I'm sorry. They were pretty weeded down on their styrofoam balls, and so I could only get like a 10 bag, and I'm like, I don't need 10. I just want to make one ornament. And this was the only size that came in a 2-pack.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, I was going to have, I think the minimum number of balls that I could buy was going to be 5 or 6. And I was like, I just want one. So I bought the 2-pack. So, and I used this kind of ball. It's called Smooth Foam Ball. It is not your typical styrofoam. It's smooth.
Of course, I got to bounce it.
It's, I can't tell. It's like the moon.
It's like I can't even look at it when you put it up that close.
It's too bright. Wow. All right, but it's called a Smooth Foam Ball. I liked it because there were 2 to a bag. That's why I got it. But I think it is one of the ones that she recommends in the pattern. And I did it on, I think the pattern called for a 2.5. I couldn't, I think this is either a 2.5 or a 3. The knit picks 2.5s and 3s. I've had this problem. I've had these knit picks for like maybe 7 or 8 years.
It's not a 2.5.
It could be a 3.
I was going to say, it can't be a 2.5.
I don't know. See, the problem with some of Knit Pick's needle sizes is they don't fit into the sizer very well. This was slightly smaller than a 3 when I put it in the needle sizer. What does he have?
I think it's a dice. A die.
He's gambling. Is it Ollie?
No, it's not.
Is it? Yes.
Hi, Ollie. I don't know what it is. It's an actual...
Hi, Ollie.
Something.
Did you come up here? So anyway,
called him. My fault.
I've had this problem before. When I put these into the needle sizer, they are a lot smaller than the 3-hole, but they don't fit into the 2-hole. Oh. But that does not mean that this isn't a 3. Because I had some needles that are, I know the size of them, and they are slightly smaller than the needle sizer. I think sometimes their needles are off a little bit, at least in my experience. I know I have a pair of 4s where one of the 4s is like just fits into the hole and the other one's loose. Oh, so okay. I think that might be the issue. So this is, I either used a 2 or a 3, but at any rate it worked out fine for the pattern because here it is. The thing that I like a lot about this pattern is it gives you a grid so you can design anything you want for the middle, and it tells you how to like achieve that. She links to an alphabet so you can, that's how I came up with these letters. And I made up this little heart design. And you know what I did that was really handy is I had it on my iPhone. I had it loaded onto my iPhone. And I used the drawing feature on Goodreads, and I just like colored quickly in the boxes that I wanted to make my design by just writing on it. And then when I was done, I could just say undo, and it deleted it. So I had to rip it out, though, because I started doing the design, and I was off by a few stitches because somehow I lost a stitch when I don't know how. I knit the green, and then I knit 3 rows of the red, and then I was like either 1 stitch extra or 1 stitch short. I don't really know. I can't remember now. And then I realized I had like miscounted on one side in this pattern so that the heart was off. So I had to rip out this whole section once. But it only took me a couple of hours to make this, not including the ripping out and redoing.
Well, that's good.
So it was a lot of fun. But she has, I think, 4 or 5 different pattern ideas you can use. And I'll show that during the contest. But it was a lot of fun. You can do different things. I just stuck a crochet, like a ball hook in it, but you could like crochet a loop or make a little thing.
Do an I-cord.
Do an I-cord, yeah. You could do whatever you wanted to. I was too lazy. But that's what I like about these things.
You can do as much as you want to put into.
But that is my only thing, write your date, and it was a lot of fun to make, and I might make another one. I was thinking of making another one that would be all red stripes with a white band and green Christmas trees in the middle. Fancy. Which would be easy because the red is self-striping. So it would be like red, and then there'd be a white band with Christmas trees, and then there would be red again. And you can also she did some that I saw that were just variegated yarn, red, green, and white variegated yarn that came out so cute. So you could make it as easy or as complicated as you want.
Right.
So anyway, that's it for me.
Whirlwind?
Nope. No whirlwind. No.
Okay. Future dates?
You tell me.
I'm probably going to be doing a lot of socks. I'm in the mood for socks. So after this worst... Actually, I take that back. So yesterday was rather cold here.
Yeah. Compared to today, which is not cold
compared to today
at all.
and the day before. So I happen to have my son's gloves that I made him last year, which he's not using. He kind of told his dad that he needed a pair of gloves. I'm like, I made you a pair specifically for you. So I wore them yesterday, and shoot me now. I think I might make a pair for me. But more specific, like these, the fingers are tight.
Yeah.
I don't like these gloves. I mean, they worked well. The fingers were tight, so I'm debating on if they're...
Hold on one second. Whoever's making that noise, please stop.
Okay.
The fingers are tight.
Yeah.
And one of the thumbs is shorter than the other. It's just... I think there was like 2 or 3 months in between the two gloves. I'm like...
Well, you remember when I made gloves, I had that one finger that was like double finger, and then the rest of them were really small. So whatever you did, I'm sure.
As much as you hate to do it, you just got to power through. So I was thinking maybe that. Probably not, though, to tell you the honest truth. I'll probably just use these until I can't anymore. Then I was thinking of another pair of socks because, that's basically where my mind is right now. Mindless socks on small needles. Just something portable because I can do it. I can do like 5 to 10 rows during break. And I've noticed lately that I don't stop moving.
Yeah.
Something's always moving. If I'm standing, my leg is moving. If I'm lying down, my feet are going like this. I was reading the other day, and my son's like, Mom, do you realize you're doing something with your fingers? I was like going like this, or I'm like, really? I don't notice, but I've been noticing it more and more.
Something really wrong with
Yeah,
you. Good thing to have it looked into.
Yeah, well, it could be the fact that I'm still not getting enough sleep.
It could be that. It could be nerves of some kind that, you're not, like, feeling anxious, but you are.
Oh,
and
I'm
your
sure.
anxiety is, like, coming out by the jittery movements.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, it's not jittery, but...
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Restless.
it's just... I wouldn't doubt it.
But
wouldn't doubt
you'll
it,
figure it out. I am going to make a hat called Kids at Any Age. Now, if you watched last week, my daughter was on with me. And
Sorry, didn't watch. I don't watch this.
Why would you? And my daughter said that she wanted me to make this hat. So I'm going to make this hat.
It looks like the worm hat.
It's almost exactly like the worm hat, only it's flatter. It's supposed to be knit with a fingering weight doubled. So you need like 800 yards of fingering weight.
Which is what, a sport?
I'm going to use Cascade. And I'm just going to check my gauge and I'll just do it. I mean, I don't even really need the pattern because
I was going to say, all you would do is say with worsted weight, a typical hat is about 100 stitches.
Right.
Roughly.
I actually have a chart on my tech editing thing that tells you like what I have a hat thing, so I'm not even going to worry about it. But, yeah, I mean, and when you look at the number of stitches to cast on for her, 100, that's about what her head would be. So I'm probably going to be right dead on because Cascade's like a light worsted.
It is a light worsted. I would definitely say this pattern is thicker than Cascade.
Definitely. So I'm not going to worry about it. And I have some pink Cascade worsted upstairs. Actually, I have some multicolored pink worsted.
I was going to say, because that kind of hat, like the worm hat, sometimes does better with.
Well, I mean, she said the pink was fine. I showed her what was in my stash, so I can just use it from stash. But she doesn't like wearing the dog fur yarn hat anymore because it's all puffy and she loves it, but people at school say it looks like that's her hair and peer pressure, middle school. Gotta love it.
That's a side note. So I made my son, what's that hat? The Cool House?
Yeah.
House. I made it out of cheap acrylic, bright neon orange yarn. It's got to be going on 4 more years.
Yeah.
It still fits him. He still wears it. He still loves it. I'm like, have at it.
Oh, whenever we go out on the weekends, she's wearing the dog fur hat. She loves it. That was my hat, and she just took it.
Yeah.
She loves it so much. She wears it in the house. Like, she wears it all the time. Are you going to interrupt me? I guess not.
But I was thinking also that might be another thing I might do after these is just to give my hands a break on tight knitting is make a bunch of worsted scrap yarn hats, because I was looking at we went through our winter gear because we needed the snow gear the other day, a couple days last Wednesday, and I think I have a hat made out of army yarn, camouflage, sorry, and then the orange hat, and then that's pretty much it. I'm like, yeah, I think I need to throw some more hats in there.
Need to re-up.
Re-up, yeah.
Yeah, we did the same. I did mine earlier because I had to air out all my sweaters before Rhinebeck. So I aired out all the knitted stuff. I took it out and aired it out. It was all in mothballs because of the Great Moth War of 2014. And I'm pretty good. I got rid of a few things. I donated shawls to the shawl thing that we did this summer. So, but my kids can always use a few extra hats. Sometimes you're in the mood for one thing, sometimes for another.
Buy something. Sorry.
Aw.
We should mention that in Gossip and Innuendo.
Oh, yeah, okay, great. So anyway, yeah, but the hat for her, that's the next thing that I'm going to do when this is off the needles. And then after that, I'm going to try to get, since this is an old project, I'm going to pull out something else old and rip it out. And
all right.
I'm trying to get down to I'm trying to get on top of my whips. Like, I'm going to either frog them or finish them.
How many whips do you have?
Well, down here, I think I have 5.
Do you know what they are?
Yes. I have a shawl that I'm going to run out of yarn on.
Oh,
that silk shawl. And what I need to do is rip it back. I have to rip the entire edging back and start over. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I might figure something else out. But it's a problem. I might just do one side and then go and do the other side down and just deal with it. And then knit just a row on the top. And I think I will have enough yarn for that, but I'm not even sure if that's true.
Really?
It's so off. And the shawl itself is beautiful, so I'm really upset because I put a lot of work into it. So that's in there. I have a design that I created, a shawl design, a lace shawl that only needs the edging knit on and the pattern finished. So I could do that. I have the Samil shawl in that beautiful yarn from Leading Men Fiber Arts that I'm never going to finish because I don't enjoy knitting that pattern, and I'm going to rip it out and use that yarn for something else. And I have these socks were in there, so those are out. I think that's it for down here. Upstairs, I have a crocheted bag that somehow got partially ripped out. I'm not sure how or why. It was a finished object. I need to repair that. And then I have a pair of mittens that I was designing that I should do. I mean, the pattern's all done. I just need to knit the sample. It's really cute. It has a rabbit on it.
Oh, that's right.
My rabbit mittens. And then I have a gnome that my mother started in the 80s that's partially knit that I either need to finish or throw out. It's a kit. It even has the needles in it.
I'd say throw out, but
it's really cute, though. And then I have 2 pairs of unfinished socks that I need to either finish or rip out.
Is one of them for Jim?
No, I threw those out. I took the needles out and I threw the whole thing away because the moths got into that. I have a pair of Kool-Aid dyed yarn socks that we made. That I started back in 2007.
Too long ago.
Or 2008, one of those 2 years. And I have a pair of Zoberball socks that were going to be lake house socks that I hated that pattern. It's all messed up. I need to rip those out and do something else with it. I'm not going to throw it out. It's perfectly good yarn. I'm just going to rip those out. And then I have a lace shawl that I started out of the most inappropriate lace yarn. It's alpaca, and it's so fuzzy.
Yikes.
That I will rip out. And then I have a lace weight cardigan that I think the moths got into. And I might have already thrown that out. I'm not 100% sure. But that's from like 2008. Like these are old whips. These are whips that are like so old that I'm not even 100% sure. So that's what I have upstairs. So the socks, I'll probably rip out the socks and just put that yarn back in the stash. The lace shawl thing, I'm definitely ripping that out. I don't want to knit it at all. That was my first attempt at lace.
Oh.
And it got put away. It was
what were you thinking?
I was clearly an inexperienced lace knitter. Now I could probably knit it. It's like the easiest pattern ever. I had to put one of those little rescue lines in every row, and I was like, every row, I'm like, damn it! The number is off again! Now I could probably just knit it. It's like, it's a rectangle. It doesn't even have increases. But that was not a good beginner lace work piece.
Not without
or yarn. No. Not at all. So I'm trying to get that stuff.
I can tell you exactly
organized.
what's on my needles. Besides the two that I mentioned here.
The sweater.
I have the sweater, the baby sweater, and I have Zachary's bag that I told him most likely will not be finished, and the yarn will probably go somewhere in the round file, as we call it, the trash. Because it's Noro. I can't stand it.
Yeah, I know.
But I told him we'd have to discuss later. It's not happening right now. I'm not feeling the love. I felt the love for 2 minutes, and I should have continued with it. And actually, after I realized that yarn wasn't going to felt, I lost the love. And I was almost done with it,
I know. That's so sad. Bobbles and bling.
Bobbles and bling. I have a bobbles and bling. So, I got a text from a friend of mine. Her son and my son were in preschool together. Her son is 1 grade older. They ended up moving to Lawrence? Not sure. Her mother still lives where I live. So she texted me yesterday stating that she had called me, or we had talked. We keep in touch. We had talked about her mom had yarn for me, some DK sport weight yarn. For the life of me, I couldn't think of what it was. I'm like, all right, yeah, sure, fine. Give it to me. I'll figure out something. I figured either give it away, give it to the senior center, or whatever. I come home, I open up the bag, and this is only a portion of it. Sorry, let me take my socks out. It's all Cascade Fixation sock yarn. 30 balls of it.
Wow. That's 15 pairs of socks.
Easily. All various colors, stripes, solids. I got black in here. I got green in here. So that's where I'm getting this from. And it's funny because I've been thinking back and forth. Oh, it would be nice to get that for my son Max, who's got bigger feet.
Right.
And I made a pair of Red Sox socks with this. It was fun. It's fun to do this. And it's cotton. It's good to wear in the summertime. I could not get over it.
That's so awesome.
It's really nice. And plus, she gave me 5 skeins. Acetate's what? Acrylic? Another fancy word for it. Acrylic light purple. I'm like...
It's not feltable.
Oh, no, I know that.
FYI.
No, I know that.
Don't go down that road again.
That will probably just get donated to the senior center.
Yeah, that's what I did with mine. I donated all of my yarn to the senior center.
Never knit with it. And it's thinner yarn. So, but I thanked her very much. And I was thinking of maybe making baby hats or baby sweaters or, I don't know. I don't know.
Show your other baubles and bling.
Oh.
That's from our friend.
It's from our friend Diane.
She wasn't going to use it, so she gave it away.
So I'm going to try it. See if it's what I want. I keep my needles in an old, not an old, I got it out Walmart. Yeah, I can't spit that one out. Walmart. Gosh, 4 or 5 years ago. Shortly after I started knitting and collecting needles. It's one of those coupon holders. Or
Right.
Those bill
You
folder,
can like open it up and it's got like
accordion style.
yes.
I have 2 of those. One through size 1 through 6 in one, and 7 up in the others. And it's like I squish it because it's so full. So this is a needle holder that can hold interchangeables and can't talk today. Circulars.
Yep.
So I'm gonna try it out. We'll see how it works. And it will be great to have.
It is the jumbo version of mine.
It'll be great to have. I could probably even put my circulars in here and just have the cords hanging out.
Yeah, that's what you could do. So, it's a Delicue like mine that I got at Hub Mills. But that was from our friend Diane in Oz. She bought it for herself and she
didn't want it.
Didn't want it. Never going to use it. So she was like, do you want it? And I said no, but maybe Sheila would want it.
So, we'll try it out. See how it works. It's awfully big.
Well, but you know, if you're just going to have it at your house, it's perfect because
yeah, I'm not going to take it anywhere.
Yeah, I like these because I'll oftentimes throw these in my bag. I have another really small one too that has my knit picks in it. These are small enough to stuff in a project bag.
Yeah, right now. So I have these on a size 5, probably 16-inch, just plain old. I don't want to say Susan Bates, but something similar to that, something cheap. And I was like, well, I want to try using my Knit Pros because the silver part is just slightly shorter than this. And all I did is throw it in here. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to lose those if I'm not careful.
Yeah.
I need better ways of storing it. But, yeah, that's all my baubles and bling.
I don't have any baubles and bling this week. That's not to say that I didn't order 2 baubles and bling.
Well, technically, I have a bauble and bling, but it's not my bauble and bling.
No. What is it?
It's someone else's bauble and bling that will have to wait for Christmas.
Yay! I bought your present like 8 months ago.
You always buy my present.
I like to shop in advance.
Technically, one of your gifts was bought back in June or July.
I buy everything. If I see something for her, I pick it up and I just put it in my present closet. So I ordered 2 skeins of self-striping yarn. One was the prize that I won for winning our little Rhinebeck knit-along. Mm-hmm. And the other one, remember when we were at Rhinebeck and I missed the Lollipop yarn update?
Yeah, vaguely.
I bought Lollipop. Yeah. Were you there when that
Probably
happened?
not.
You might have been asleep.
No, it was that Sunday I had to leave. It was the Lollipop yarn was going on Sunday.
I think that might have been. I got carjacked 4 times in a row because I couldn't get it to sign in. We were on Wi-Fi. I was using my iPad and it kept not letting me. It wouldn't let me sign into my
your account.
My PayPal. PayPal was giving me attitude. So, but Lois is friendly with the dyer, so I messaged her and she told me the next time she was dyeing the colorways that I wanted, she would let me know and make me one.
Oh, good.
So I'm getting one.
Is it like a reserved or not quite?
I bought it. She did a update this weekend, I think, and she messaged me because one of the colors she was updating is
what you want.
What a Maroon from A Christmas Story. And that was one of the ones that I wanted to get. So she messaged me and said, I'm dyeing it. Do you want it? I said yes. And she put a reserve listing up for me and I paid her.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, that was super nice. It was really nice of her to do that for me. There's another one that I'm on a list for, too, but she doesn't know when she's going to do it again. And I can't remember what it's called. But when it happens, she'll message me. It'll be like a surprise. And then I'll buy it and she'll dye it.
This bauble and bling that I got for someone, I was like, do I want something similar? I'm like, do I need something similar?
That's always the trouble, isn't it?
No, I really don't need something similar. So the one that I was looking at that was similar, I'm like, yeah, delete.
Aww.
I'm so good.
Well, Side note, I almost had Bobbles and Bling because all these freaking people on Instagram bought that Felici self-striping sock yarn from Knit Picks.
Oh, that it's back. Yeah, Felici's
it's back for some amount of time.
Oh, really?
Because they were saying they were going to discontinue it, and then it was gone. It's so popular. I don't know why. Who knows what's going on with them? I had 2 of every single colorway in my box.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I was only going to get, because it takes 2 skeins to make a pair of socks. That's why.
I know.
So I had 2 colorways, so 4 skeins in my box. And it was like, only $40 more, and you could get free shipping. And I was like, oh, click, 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 click. And I put them all in my box. I was like, check out. And it was so overloaded with people trying to buy that the Knit Picks website was going really slow.
Really?
And I don't know what was going on, but it took too long, and I was like, screw that. And I clicked out of it, and I was like, you know what, that was good, because I do not need, it was like 6 colorways that I had in my box.
How many do you have of self-striping right now?
Like 4 or 5. 2 coming, and 4 that I haven't knit yet. And this one that's on the needle.
You need to stop. Because you know what's going to happen. You're going to have so much, you're going to lose interest.
Maybe I will.
You need to stop.
It's hard to know. I'm already looking forward to the next skein of self-striping yarn.
Oh, I already know which skein I'm going to knit.
Yeah,
the only reason it wasn't cast on now is because I'm doing the worsted weight. I'm doing my Good and Plenty.
Oh, I like that. Good and Plenty, that's one of my favorite ones.
That's by Fiber Nymph. That's the only Fiber Nymph I now own.
I almost bought another. Oh, I did buy another Fiber Nymph. Lucky Cat. I forgot about that one. I might have 6 skeins of stuff.
I sold my Sunburn Zebra.
Oh.
That's all right. I was just not going to get done.
Well,
so I'm okay
so I have no
It'll be
Bubbles
loved somewhere else.
Crushes and heartbreaks.
Oh, I don't know. Work has been a really kind of heartbreak lately. We've been working shorthanded, and it's getting me frustrated. And I feel bad for the persons who are out, but it's just getting me frustrated. Because actually, what's getting me frustrated is the people who... Okay, so I'm just going to vent a little bit. We have certain times that we go on break, and they're that way for a reason, because not only do we have to cover each other for break, but we have to cover the front.
Right.
And then people leave at a certain time during the day. So we have a coworker who gets in there at 4:30 in the morning and leaves at 1.
Right.
So she goes on lunch first. So the last few days, there have been a few people who are so adamant about going with their friends that they're waiting for them. And it's frustrating because the last 2 days, after everyone has gone to lunch and I've gone to lunch, and then we have this one person who does an 8 to 5:30 shift, she goes to lunch, it leaves just me. It may be just me for like a half an hour, but it still just leaves me. And it's like these people aren't thinking about that.
Right.
And it's getting very frustrating because, oh, I'm waiting. Well, they're waiting for half an hour. If you just go to lunch.
Right, and then come back.
And come back. Because then they go to lunch and they come back and then they leave. I'm like, what kind of sense does that make? Just leave at that point, but you can't because we have to clock out and all that. But so that's just my frustration. It's just me.
Any crushes?
Not to my knowledge. I'm sure there is, besides my lovely yarn. My dad's home.
That's cool.
He came home a week and a half ago from China. He's leaving 2 days after Christmas. He was away this past weekend, and he's talking about going away this weekend. But he wants to go to dinner tonight, so.
Well, that would be good.
Yeah. Other than that, I'm trying to think. No. Same old.
So I have a crush and a heartbreak. Kind of both. My crush is that I've been saying that we've had a lot going on in my family for a while, and we have. One of my close family members was diagnosed with cancer. And we found out recently, though, that it's like the best possible case. And there's not even going to need to be chemo. But it's been a stressful couple of months. So it's a crush because the outcome is amazing. Technically, after the surgery, there's no more cancer. So technically, that person is cancer-free. So that's a big crush to me. but it's also a heartbreak because they still have to go through treatment and everything. And, you know, going through the time period up until we got the final news after the pathology was just, I wasn't too worried, but it was stressful because you don't want anyone that you love sick. And what made it more stressful is the week after that person was diagnosed, they found a tumor in my other breast. If you watched last year, I had a cancer scare when they found calcifications. I don't even know. It wasn't a tumor. It was like a bad area of cells in my right boob. So this year I went in joking around, ha ha ha, every year. Well, they found a tumor in my other breast. It is benign. I know that now. I've had a biopsy, but I am having surgery next week to take it out. So that's a heartbreak that I have to have surgery again on my other boob. But, you know, I'm hoping maybe one day I'll be lower cup size because they just keep taking stuff out. But yeah, so there was me going through this and my loved one going through the same thing at the same time, not knowing what the outcome was going to be. It's been a tough week. So that's a crush and a heartbreak. It's mostly a crush now because both of us know that, you know, everything's fine. And I have arranged for my next annual mammogram to be in January so that I don't have to do this for a third holiday season in a row.
Nice.
I think that it's pretty crummy to have a date with your oncologist
right before the holidays.
Every holiday season. So I'm not doing that next year. I don't care. But I just wanted to say that it's a good thing to stay on top of your annual mammograms and your self-exams. And when you get to the right age, don't put it off. Follow it through, because one of the reasons that my loved one is doing so well is that they are on top of their breast exams and their health care. And one of the reasons why
you did so well,
I did so well too, is that they find stuff when it's early before it can really hurt you. So it's a good thing.
Hey, I got mine.
Nobody knows that.
Nobody knows what?
That you got yours done. Yeah.
Well, I finally...
I made her finally go.
Yeah, I went, what, May? They found something.
3 of us in 1 year. 4 if you count me last year. That's like 4.
Yeah, but mine, I mean, they're watching it.
Yeah. Welcome to the boob club.
I know. They're watching it. It's supposed to be every 6 months, but because it took me so long, I had a breast exam, and it took me so long because of the new job and the new insurance. My husband's insurance sucked.
She got good insurance.
I have good insurance now.
That's a crush.
Yeah, that's a big crush. And so I'm fine. I think my
She's
next one is
perfectly
in
fine.
May.
Yeah. They might start putting me on the 6-month schedule. Like, I don't spend enough time over at the Avon Center as it is.
Well, like you said, the good thing about this is I will always have my exam at the oncology center, and it pretty much gets read right then and there.
I found out that mine only gets read if I actually get cancer, but if you're on the 6 months rotation, it gets read the same day. So because frankly, if they had read mine same day this time, it would have saved me a second visit to have a second follow-up exam, because they would have just done it. Not that it needs to, I mean, there's nothing wrong. Right. They knew almost from the beginning. Last time they didn't know. This time, almost from the beginning, they knew that it was probably
Well, it's funny
nothing.
because they kept saying, oh, it was a cyst. Oh, they're usually nothing. We're going to drain the cyst, which they did, and then they took a couple of core biopsies while they were there. And then they said, well, there's something we want to check. I'm like, okay. But I love how she called me. The first thing she called, she goes, you probably already knew your reports, because it's in the same system as the hospital I work with, and I could look at it. But I'm not going to understand it, so I'm not going to look at it. What, why look at Spanish if you can't read it?
Well,
that's my attitude.
In my case.
But the first thing she said was, it's not cancer.
Yeah, they do. That's what they say. In my case, my husband works in a pathology department, and he knows pathology, and his boss is a pathologist who happens to be close friends with the pathologist at Mass General Hospital who reads all the reports. So whenever I get a report, and if it's before they call me, we just find out. I mean, Jim just looks at it. He knows what it says. But the lady that did the core biopsy on me this time knew that. She's like, I'm not releasing the report until after they call you. I was like, I don't get freaked out. She said, I just know for a fact that this is probably going to be something that I'm going to recommend a lumpectomy.
What is going on behind us?
He's just playing in a loud way. He can't.
It almost sounds like he's having a tantrum. I'm sorry.
No, my son has a tic disorder. And one of the things that's related to is he can't step on the floor with just one foot. He has to,
he can't put his feet
he can't
up.
put both. If one foot is on the carpet and one foot is on the floor, then he feels like one side didn't get enough time and he has to jump around. We're trying to help him not do that anymore, but that's what all the jumping is about. It's like OCD, but it's really common in people with tic disorders. It's really a tic that he's translating as a compulsion. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, sorry.
I just wasn't sure if he was mad at something.
He's not mad. If only it were that. So, yeah. So, I just wanted to mention, I was waiting to say anything because I wanted to get to the end of this whole situation. I actually talked about it in one of our episodes earlier, and then I deleted it because I was like, I just want to wait until I know for sure what's happening before I say anything, because I wasn't worried, but I felt like if I started talking about it, I might start to overthink it, because I do that. But it's all good. But I don't know when we're going to record next week, because next Wednesday I will be in surgery all day.
Thursday.
So I don't know what's happening.
I don't know. So,
segueing into gossip and innuendo, I don't know what day we're going to record next week.
I thought it was planned for Friday.
Okay, so that's what we're doing next week. Let's talk really quickly. We drew a winner of the November knit-along. I used a random number generator. There were 127 entries. And the winner is Twinny Mama, Twinimama, from Austria.
Getting this mystery yarn that was,
This was donated by Angelia McGarr. And we believe think it's Socks That Rock. It looks and feels like Socks That Rock. It might not be, but that's...
No, I think it is. I think it's a lightweight.
It's really pretty.
It is pretty.
Sheila wants to steal it.
No, because it's lightweight.
Twinny Mama.
Let me talk about it.
She doesn't have her real first name, but Twinny Mama, you need to PM Sheila and tell her what your real life address is. Twinny Mama crocheted a hat for her sister from mystery yarn that her mother gave her.
You don't love that mystery yarn.
Entry.
So, because you used your mystery yarn, we're going to give you mystery yarn.
All right.
This is nice. Well, I don't know if the other one was nice yarn or not, but this is nice mystery yarn.
It was just mystery yarn.
And she's coming to us from Austria. So, it's going to be a little bit to get there.
Yeah. It will be. And then we're doing 2 pattern giveaways today.
We're not giving them away. We're announcing them, correct?
Contest. Oh, we're announcing 2 contests. Yes, that is the better way to say it. The first thing that we are announcing, I've already told you about. Scrappy Christmas baubles.
Cute.
They're super cute. The one on the top says knit pearl. There are a couple of striped ones. There's the angular one. There's one with 2014. It's fingering weight yarn or light sport weight. You can make a 2-inch, 2.5-inch, or 3-inch ball. And just for size reference, what happened to it? Did it roll off the table? The one that I showed earlier, I put it in here. Did I?
I don't know.
No.
It must have rolled. Oh, no, here it is.
It rolled. Oh, this is a 3-inch. Looks like with my hand for reference. So the 2 inches is much smaller. So there are instructions for all 3 sizes. You can pick the one that you want. And she also includes a section that has, let me turn it sideways. Oh, I didn't like doing that. Come back. I don't know what just happened. She also includes, oh, you're not going to be able to see this because it's white. There you go. A section of grid. One for each size, or two for each size, actually, in case you want to have the front and back be different, so that you can design your own middle, which is what I did in order to make Knit One Heart Two. And then she also offers a striping one, a checkerboard one, slanted stripes, knit purl, and she links to an alphabet that you can use so that you can write whatever you want on them. So she gives you a lot of options. And there are a lot of options on how you finish it too. Like I said, you could do an I-cord or something. I just stuck this hook on there because I had one on my tree. And we are going to open up a thread in the group and tell us what you would write on your Christmas ornament. And somebody will win that. And I'm going to make that pattern contest a 1-week contest so that whoever wins it can make an ornament right away. This is the
Apparently
day.
we're having problems with finding things today.
So we're going to draw for this in episode 188. And then the second one that I have to offer, this is like the day of Rachel, my friend, who is also known as Diabolical Yarns, because this pattern is called Diamond Cut Fingerless Mitts Collection. And it is featuring Rachel of Diabolical Yarns highlighter colors.
I like those.
They're super bright.
It's the super wash, and I used the purple super wash.
Yeah. Oh.
A couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
And I loved it.
Yes, this is the His and Hers Emerald Cut Fingerless Mitts. They all have a theme, and the Eternity Band Fingerless Mitts that has like a it looks like an eternity band going down the front of the cable. And then there's Petite Marquee Cut that has the ovals. And then there is the Sapphire Cut that has the sapphire cut shape on it. Those are pretty. Those are in highlighter blue. And Trinkets Fingerless Mitts that are in diamonds. And she actually has a PDF collection, so if you're interested in getting all 5 patterns, you can buy the whole collection. But what we're going to do for her contest is you're going to tell us which pattern
you'd like
is your favorite, and which color of highlighter yarn from Diabolical you would use. I'm going to link both, and we're going to give away individual. There are 5 designs in here. We're going to give away 5 individual winners. So someone will win the sapphire, someone will win the diamond, whatever. We're going to give away one of each pattern away. So we're going to give that one 2 weeks.
Oh, we are? Okay.
I think, well, we could probably do a week.
Yeah.
We'll do it a week on that one, too. That way...
we're not recording till Friday, so it gives them
it'll give some extra time, because I'll try to get this up first thing tomorrow. So we'll draw in episode 188 for this. But the designer's name is Colleen Kinnersley Designs, and she got yarn support from Rachel, so I think they're really pretty. And one of them, I think it's good to give it early because these are excellent for like a teacher gift or a bus driver gift or whatever. Like it's a real quick thing that you can whip up, and people like see them and think they're amazing. But they will only take you a few hours. It's like a lot of bang for very little work. So those are the 2 contests we're doing. And stay tuned next week because we'll talk about other things that we're going to give away during the month of gifts.
Okay.
Officially calling this the month of gifts.
All right.
And I think, I wanted to make an announcement. I know a lot of people out there really love Jessalou bags. This is an example of a Jessalou bag. This is a Jessalou box bag. Actually, this is a Jessalou Notions pouch that just happens to match my Jessalou box bag. But she is now selling Webb's commemorative anniversary bags through the Webb's bag site.
Nice.
In box bags and wedge bags. So if you are interested, I will link in the show notes where you can go and order it. They have pink ones and blue ones, and they're super cute. I just told me about it, but then I was browsing over on Webb's the other day to put things on my Christmas list for my husband, and I was like, oh, there they are! They have like a whole page. It's pretty cool. So it's another place you can get bags, plus you could get their, I think it's their 50-year.
It is 50 year.
Like their 50th year or something. So it's special. Limited edition. So.
That's it, right?
That is it. That's it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm tired. So.
Well, everybody have a great week.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We really do appreciate it.
Knit with heart.